I love Indianapolis and I love March. How's that? And a lot of credit goes to these guys. I mean, it's we all know it was an interesting year, but I thought to do what we did, meaning play the defense that I thought we played, not turn the ball over after 5 or 4 early ones, start going inside to my big guy who finally stayed inside was very important. And point guard play between him and AJ. I think they had 1 turnover. He had 0. He had 7 assists. And then we just had some guys that sprayed in there. Joey Hauser made some big plays. I thought early on, Julius Marble kept us alive. Max Christie did a hell of a job defensively and made some plays. And Gabe had a couple key rebounds. I mean, it was nothing. Offensively, it was something that probably would make Dick Bennett and Bo Ryan proud. It was typical Michigan State, Wisconsin. First guy to 50 wins. And I got so much respect for Guard, the job he's done with a team that nobody predicted. That's a really good basketball team, and I give us credit because I thought we did a decent job on Johnny, and he is something special. But I'm sure his injury, when he went down there last week and probably didn't get to practice much, had something to do with it. So all in all, I'm just excited that we won a game, get a chance to advance and maybe starting to do some of the things we hadn't done, like check better and not turn the ball over.
All right, we'll take questions for the students. Please raise your hand. Start in the right front.
Brendan Shabath, WDBM Sports. Question for Marcus. You've been really good on the boards the past 3 games. It seemed like something clicked in that Maryland game on Sunday at home. What was it for you that has made that turnaround?
Just getting challenged by my coaches, then getting back to the norm. I think for like last 10 games and stuff, I was slacking on some of them areas. So I just wanted to get it back right.
All right, we'll go on the left-hand side to Chris.
Chris Solari, Detroit Free Press. Marcus, that stretch where you had, I think, 11 straight points, are you kind of maybe feeling the senior itch or the light come on to kind of elevate things, particularly the offensive rebounding in that stretch as well?
Yeah, I mean, going into halftime, we didn't have any offensive rebounds, and then coach challenged me at halftime. So, just coming out with that energy and then, try to prove him right, so. And then, I'm sorry, then, the team did a hell of a job, playing defense, and then getting stops and rebounds and running. So, that when we got stops, that all tied into it.
We'll go to the far right side, second row.
Stephen Brooks, 24/7 Sports. This question's for Tyson. Tyson, those last 2 shots you hit, you've talked to us a few times about coming here, and part of this was to play in big-time games and big environments. You're in a pro arena here. And that second one, I think, might have been one of the loudest moments of the night. You sort of clenched your fist. Could you just walk us through what you were feeling in that moment?
It's just, as I said before, just everybody having faith in me to take those shots. And when I came off, I had that shot a couple times and I rushed it. So when I came off this time, I was just patient and followed through and everything. It felt good. And the clenching the fist, it was just like me just being happy, really, just happy for that moment.
All right, we'll go to Kyle on the left-hand side.
Yeah, Kyle Austin, MLive.com. Another one for Tyson. Tyson, yesterday we were up here talking all about turnovers in the end of that Maryland game. What was, last night and this morning like, focusing on that and turning on 7 turnovers today?
We just know they're a team that doesn't turn the ball over, so that would be a big part of winning the game. And so we just wanted to take care of the ball as best we could. We had a couple turnovers early, then we kind of focused in on it, and we didn't have that many after that.
Second row in the middle.
Jared Ramsey with the State News. This question's for either of you. Can you just talk a little bit about the efforts from the team to slow down Johnny Davis, particularly Max?
Tyson, you take that?
We just wanted, every time he caught the ball, we just wanted to be in our gaps, have 6 eyes on him, just make it tough for him because he's a heck of a player. He can make tough shots. So every shot he took, we wanted to be contested, and we didn't want nothing easy for him.
Take 2 more for the students, left-hand side, towards the back.
Sure, I'll take it.
I thought you
I didn't
put
have my hand up,
your
but
hand
that's
up.
fine.
Sorry.
Tyson, you a couple times have had, either game-winning shots or big shots at the end of games this season. I think one time you're like, I've taken that shot a million times. I knew it was going in. Another time you said, right when I was about to take that shot, I knew it was happening. Do you love that moment? Do you live for it? Because tonight you had 2 more of those.
It's part of the reason why I came here, to take those shots. And, coach in those moments, he tells me to go get the ball. So just having my back like that just makes it easier. And just knowing, like, I can make most of the shots I can take if I just lock in and focus on it.
All right, we'll finish in the middle on the right-hand side for the students.
Jamal Spencer from WZZM Grand Rapids. This one's for Marcus. You mentioned that at points this season you've had your effort questioned as a reason for why you wouldn't be able to stay on the floor. 22 minutes tonight, the most that you've played in over 2 months. What does it mean to you to be able to stay on the floor and be there for your teammates in tournament time?
A lot. My teammates had my back, throughout the whole time. Even if they felt like I was doing something wrong, they had my back, clapping their hands and telling me, I'm good and stuff like that. So, when the team camaraderie is like that, that makes everything easier.
All right, you guys can head back to the locker room. Congratulations, and see you tomorrow. All right, we'll continue with questions for Coach Izzo. Please raise your hands. We'll start with Matt on the left-hand side.
Matt Charbonneau, Detroit News. Tom, you mentioned a little bit in the opening, but when you look at, obviously, the big game Marcus had and Tyson's big shots, when you look at that box score and see how much you got from so many guys, there were stretches when Joey made big shots, some of the plays Max made. I mean, what does it mean to see now you're getting so much from so many guys, I think, when it matters most?
It's very true. I thought Julius was really good early when we couldn't get anything out of Markey, and as you said, Max did some good things. Gabe got some big rebounds. Everybody did something different. Jaden Akins came in there and played pretty good defense. So it was a lot of guys, and a couple guys struggled a little bit tonight. Malik struggled for Malik. He's one of our best players. But all in all, I love the job AJ did. AJ really did a lot of good things. And as you said, we sprinkled it around. Everybody did some good things. But Mark, Mark deserves some credit, there was a come to the big fella meeting at halftime with me and DJ, and if he just keep his tail in that post he's really an effective player, and it helps him get some more rebounds, because if you're outside, you don't get them, and so we encouraged him to stay in there, and he did a hell of a job. He deserves a lot of credit.
In the middle on the right side.
Tom, again, Jamal Spencer, WZZM. Is that the best game that you've seen from Marcus Bingham in his time at Michigan State?
It's the best second half. It's the best half I've seen. I don't know. I'd have to think about the game, but I wasn't really doing somersaults back to the locker room in the first half. But the second half, I thought he was really, he started out, we went to him, and he did a really good job. He did a pretty good job defensively. He's not always coming out because he did something wrong. I think one of the biggest problems is conditioning is a problem for him. But I think he played through his second wind, and you know what? I'm happy. I'm proud of him, but I'm happy for him. The one thing about Marcus that my staff, we always say, he could have left 3 times, and wouldn't have blamed him. But he just kept coming back for more, and I'd sure like to see him end his career in a serious positive note.
We'll go to Jack in the middle on the left side.
Jack Ebling, the drive and press pass. Tom, in the last 34 minutes and 45 seconds, your team had 4 turnovers. You had almost twice that many in 2.5 minutes last night. How important was that to the win on a night when you go 1 for 11 from deep?
Yeah, we're talking about us. Wisconsin's a hell of a team. Johnny Davis is really good. We put a lot into him. We had bigs helping, we had guards helping, and Davidson, a guy that I really do respect. Early on he was crazy like a fox, but I just loved how hard he plays, and we couldn't stop him, but we did do a pretty good job on Johnny, and I'm sure the injury had something to do with it. So I consider this a big, big win because I think if you look at Wisconsin, what is it? They won like 14 games in a row that 5 points or less. I mean, they don't make mistakes. We had 7 turnovers and still didn't win the turnover battle because they had 7. Unbelievable job he's done there, and I think he's got a team that can move forward. They just got to get Johnny back to normal practicing, and I think at the same time, give us a little credit that we did our job too.
We'll go to Chris on the left-hand side.
Chris Solari, Detroit Free Press. Tom, you kind of mentioned the job that Max did tonight. It seemed like he was on Davis quite a bit. How does he make that transition from being more assertive offensively and shooting the ball more last night to becoming more of a stopper? I don't think he took a three-pointer in the game.
Yeah, I thought, I even told him I thought he passed up a couple, but it wasn't like, we felt like we had to go inside their perimeter defense. I mean, one thing about Max, it's been a little bit of a tough year on him, but he draws the best. And we play Illinois, Frazier's on him. You play Purdue, their best defenders on him. We play Wisconsin, Brad Davis is on him. And if you watched how they played him, they turned him down. They didn't let him get the ball. I thought, for Max's future, he's proving that he can defend, he can rebound, he can make free throws. He does a lot of things. Everybody knows he can score the ball, and nobody more than me. Even though maybe it hasn't been quite that kind of, especially last 3 weeks. But Max is still going to go off offensively. What's amazing is as a freshman, his stamina, he's able to do what he's able to do because he's running that lane. I'm even playing him at the point some to try to get him some shots, and he's also checking the best players every night.
We'll finish up with Julian Darnell, left-hand side.
Coach Julian Darnell, Big Ten Network. You used the word interesting to describe this season, and considering all the wins that you've had in March, I want to have that as the context of this question. With a win like this and advancing, is there a joy that comes with a win like this, or is it more relief that you're moving on?
Julian, as only you could do, that's a hell of a question. And I'm going to answer it in a way that I just told Gene Katie. I spent some time with Gene just a few minutes ago. This was a joy. This was a joy. A normal year, it would have just been, let's move on. But we've been through a lot. And my team kind of, the halftime with Mark, where we went a little old school on him, the defense that we played, after not getting an offensive rebound and give you, Purdue deserves credit. That's what they did. I mean, Purdue, Wisconsin did a hell of a job on the boards. I thought we won it the way, we needed to win it, and I still think we can get better offensively. I mean, I didn't think we did a good job. I think part of it was them. He probably feels the same way, and we'll talk about that, him and I. But, yeah, I felt some joy because I was happy that some guys came through and did the things they needed to. I was happy for AJ. I thought AJ did a lot of good things tonight. So Joey, hitting that three was, it was just, and that corner jump shot he hit just came off there like I've been waiting for 2 years, So maybe it takes a little longer, but maybe we're coming together a little bit. We sure got our work cut out for us now because no matter who we play, Matt's done such an incredible job, and Micah he's becoming one of my favorite coaches in the league, the way his teams play. So the only one in trouble is Katie, since they're both kind of Purdue disciples of his.
All right.